Welcome back to Vanguard Motor Sales. I'm Greg, and this is one beautiful 1970 Oldsmobile. This baby's been made up to be a Hurst Olds recreation, and it is drop dead gorgeous. It's got a 425 big block Olds motor in it. It's got a 5-speed Tremec transmission in it, and it is drop dead gorgeous, guys. Look at that black paint. It is gorgeous. Love the gold accents. That fiberglass hood's looking sweet. All the chrome's looking sweet. The body line's looking good. The stainless is looking good. And check out the wheel and tire combo on it. Love those wheels, man. And then the Hurst badges on it looking good. Look at those reflections in the black paint. Man, she's looking sweet. Check out the interior in this beauty. You can see the door jambs are nice and clean. You can see the rubber's nice. All the door panels are looking good. Carpeting's looking great. And I tell you what, I was just out driving this baby, and that 5-speed is shifting great. We've got seat belts in the front. We've got seat belts in the rear. Package trays looking good. Headliner's in great shape. She's just a beauty. Dash pad's in good shape. All the gauges are looking good. The car does have AC. She is a beauty, inside and out. I can't get over the reflections in this black paint. Looks like a big black mirror laying on it. I love the wing on the trunk too. I think that makes the whole car. All the chrome, man, looking good. You can't hardly tell where the chrome starts and the black paint starts. Man, it looks good. Get inside the trunk here. Nice and clean in there, nice coating on the trunk. Wheel wells are nice and clean. Back sides of the quarters are nice and clean. Back side of the deck lid here is nicely painted, nice and clean. The gutters around the deck lid opening are nice and clean. Everything's painted up and looking sweet. Look down the side of this black beauty. You want to talk about gorgeous? This is one gorgeous muscle car, guys. Now at Vanguard Motor Sales, we don't do any consignment whatsoever. So that means we own this black beauty. Right now we've got a little over 200 cars in stock, and we own every one of those cars. So you can bet we spent the time to check those cars out before we bought them. Then when the cars get here to the shop, we get them up on the lift and check them all out so we can answer any questions you may have about the car. So please call Tom at 248-974-9513 and ask him anything you want to know about this car. Now, if you want some close-up pictures of anything on the car, like if you want to see a close-up of this area right here, just call Tom, talk to him. Tell him, he's like, I want a close-up picture just above that headlight there. Give me that close-up picture. Tom will get it right out to you. Now, I've got about 35 years of experience in the business, and I'm going to put those 35 years of experience to work for you, helping you pick out your dream car. All right, let's take a 70 Olds for a ride. You want to talk about cool? This is the definition of cool. Black and beautiful. And look at them gold stripes on this hood. Look at the reflection in that cloud, man. I tell you what, you can see the gold on the trees, that white cloud, the blue sky. Man, it looks good. And I tell you what, she's driving good too. This 5-speed's feeling good. The power steering's feeling good. Just an amazing ride right here, guys. And at Vanguard Motor Sales, we can ship this baby anywhere in the world. You just give us a call at 248-974-9513. Tom will explain the whole process to you. How easy it is to park this dream in your driveway, no matter where you live in the world. Now, if you want some help with financing, no worries there either. We got about 3 bankers we work with. They make the process real easy. They will take care of all the paperwork over the phone. All you need to do is make that phone call to Tom, and he'll take care of all the details. You can see down here on the dash that all the gauges are working. Looks like it's got an aftermarket radio, and it's got some aftermarket gauges down here too. We do have vintage air in the car too, so you've got all the comforts of home right here, baby. 5-speed and air conditioning. What else do you need in your Oldsmobile? I'll tell you what, this thing is sweet. Take this baby to any car show and you're gonna be the hit of the show. Exhaust sounds good. 5-speed feels good. Now, we are close to Detroit here, and we're very close to the airport, and we invite you to come in and visit. We don't get a lot of visitors at Vanguard because we sell most of our stuff sight unseen, but we do encourage you to come in and look at the car in person, or send an inspector, no problem. We'll treat you inspector just like we treat you. And we are about to do something that nobody else in the industry does. We're gonna put this car up on the lift and we're gonna show you the bottom side. Now here's our building here. We're at 15100 Keel Street in Plymouth, Michigan. We got about 80,000 square feet here and well over 200 cars in stock. So do me a favor, just call Tom, let him know you're coming before you come visit so we can have your favorite vehicle right out front where we can get at it.
All right, guys, this is the underside of our 1970 Oldsmobile. Pretty honest car under here. Floorboard for, I should say, the trunk pan is looks like it's in pretty good shape. Doesn't look like it's been replaced, if I'm not mistaken. Come around to this side here, same thing. The supports, it's all welded to. Looks like they're in good shape as well. Moving forward to that, this here is our Oldsmobile 12 bolt. It has a 391 gear ratio in it. It is indeed posi. Moving forward of that, oh, you know what, actually before I move on, I'd like to point out this thing does have a couple of aftermarket control arms on it. So we've got tubular upper and lower control arms on this thing. We also have a mandrel bent exhaust here, all TIG welded together. It's actually pretty nice looking. Drum brakes on either side of the rear end here, and of course at Vanguard we do know our drum brakes. We will pull them apart and make sure that they're proper. Moving forward to that, we've got a set of pipes, mufflers on here. I believe these are stainless steel. Moving forward to that, we got ourselves an X pipe here. Once again, really nicely TIG welded together. It looks like obviously a piece that someone's bought. Very nice. Floor pans for the car look like they're in pretty solid shape as well. Even look up above the frame, which is a common spot for things to get up in there, and it looks like it's all pretty solid. If you look in between the frame rail, like this rocker panel here, like on the inside here, all of it looks like it's in good shape, nice and solid all the way down. Same thing with the other side. Very common spots for these cars to rot, especially in a lot of like up in here and along this channel here. Now back to the exhaust system, something cool that they've done here. They do have a set of cutouts on it. They're electric. They do look like they've been used on occasion, which is really cool. Moving forward to that, now this is a big upgrade for this car here. This is a TKO600. This is basically Tremec's one of their big badass manual transmissions. Now this is an overdrive unit, so that 391 gear ratio, you will be able to get this thing on the freeway and not spin to any crazy RPMs. And these things are tough as nails, so you really can't hurt these things. So overall, I highly support that performance upgrade. Now moving forward, back to the exhaust system here, looks like we have another set of stainless headers on this thing. Look like they're pretty nice too, all TIG welded up real nice. You can look at that right there. That had to have been machine done. That's very, very pretty. And you'll see up top too, they're actually a pretty nice job with them. Moving forward to that, looks like it had just a stock steering on it. And of course here at Vanguard, we check all of our front ends out, make sure that everything's good. But looking at it here, it looks like upper ball joint looks like it's been replaced. Tie rod ends look like they're all in pretty fair shape. Overall, pretty solid. All the bushings look like they're nice. And like I said, in the back there with the aftermarket upper and lower control arms there in the back, it's all new stuff, all new bushings, no big surprise. Now before I get to the wheels here, one thing I do want to point out about the front of the motor, you get a better look down here than you will from the top. We do have a billet pulley system on the thing as well. It is still V-belt, but it is a billet. And once again, there's nothing wrong with V-belt, and when you get these aftermarket pulleys like that, the pulleys are more true than the stamp steel ones. You don't have any belt problems when you have those. I have one of those on my car actually. Now as far as wheels and tires go, we have 225/60 R15 for the front. Look at them brakes up there. You heard me say about drums in the rear, but drilled and slotted rotors in the front. Looks like the stock caliper, but definitely once again a performance upgrade for your rotors. Now back to the tire size, I said 225/60 R15 BF Goodrich radial TA. And I do like the gold inlaid or the gold painted chrome wheel there. Very nice. You also can take a look at that red wheel well liner up in there. Moving back. Let's see here. Actually, same size on the back, 225/60 R15, so you can rotate these. Drums, like I had mentioned, same good looking wheel and tire. Overall up there in the wheel well, all that looks pretty nice and honest. Nothing that I wouldn't like to see up in there. Doesn't look like I see any weld seams. The car has been factory undercoated, but it doesn't look like really any of it's been disturbed, which I like to see. Well, that all being said, let's go take a look at the 425 under the hood. All right, guys, under the hood here, we have a 425 Oldsmobile V8. Now, I believe this engine is actually a 1966, 1967 model year. Probably a 1966 because from what I can tell, the heads are from 66. Now, atop that, we do have an Edelbrock Performer RPM intake manifold. And on top of that, we have a Edelbrock 1413 4-barrel. If I'm not mistaken, that's one of the big boys. That's an 800 CFM carburetor, if I'm not mistaken. Now, outside of all of that, we do have a couple of upgrades on here. We do have, looks like a more modern style alternator on this. This is an internal regulated style alternator, GM one wire as they call it. Looks like we do have, well, you can see here we do have a modern AC pump over here, or AC compressor if you will. Now over there I also see we have modern AC components over here. We got like, that's your, for your heater hose that actually cuts heat off from the heater core over there when you're using your AC. That tells me that this thing's got an aftermarket AC or HVAC system in it, which is really cool to see. On top of all of that, I would like to say here that the guy actually has got his oil pressure thing set up where you have a mechanical gauge and you still get to keep your factory stuff too, which is really cool. Outside of all of that, looks like we have a relatively fresh alignment on the car. You can also check out the stainless headers that we got going on down there. Set of Taylor wires that's carrying the ignition. We do have a big old, what do they call, the big GM distributor, what do they call those? Yeah, HEI distributor, thank you cameraman, I couldn't talk. Outside of all of that, everything down here, ooh, looks like we do have a aluminum radiator all TIG welded up. We do have electric fans on the thing, and once again, when they changed the pulley setup over, they got rid of the mechanical fan. We do now have electric fans. I'm assuming that right there is the thermo switch, so it should be all thermo controlled. Shouldn't have to worry about any of it. Looking over here, looks like a relatively new master and booster. And if I didn't mention underneath, I don't think I did, I would like to point out this car does have stainless steel, like the stainless braided soft lines for the car. I guess they're not soft anymore, but flex lines, if you will. So that gives you a little bit of upgraded braking response, and overall, just once again, tasteful performance upgrade. Power steering on it, if I didn't already mention it. AC, as you just saw, power brakes. I mean, it's an Oldsmobile. It's basically a gentleman's muscle car. So, all that being said, guys, give Tom a call at the number below and let Vanguard Motor Sales park this Oldsmobile in your driveway.